Good morning, everybody. This your boy Dante coming to you with a quick episode of Keeping It a Buck. It's like 7:43 in the a.m. I woke up and decided to do this video on what I saw at Diamond's Memorial on yesterday. First of all, I want to say to the Hardaway family, my prayers go out to you guys. I'm not trying to speak on conspiracy or anything, but it was just something that was said by Silk on yesterday that had me scratching my head a little bit. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But before we get into that, I need you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I was on this show back in 2021 when my mom passed. They were so gracious to me. They were so nice. I was telling them, what led up to my mom passing away. The report says that my mom died from complications from the vid, but we know that some people died for the lack of care in the hospitals, and then some of them that refused to get this right here. A lot of them were allowed to just slip away. And I think that, and even the video, we'll get into that in a minute. But anywho, again, I just like, share, comment, and subscribe. I thank you for all you guys that view, but I definitely need you to comment on this because I don't want to be the only one looking at it one way and speculating and adding my own 2 cents into it and maybe wrong. But before I get into that video, it's this one video I saw that had me outraged because this dude, he alluded to things that were not factually true. I used to watch their shows all the time, and watching their shows, I know they was not anti-jab. They was not anti, this. They would say, make up your own mind. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, don't. And I think from what I understand is that they say that Diamond had taken, this, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to go on a tangent saying that it's factual. I'm just saying that's what was said. Said that she did take it and that she regret taking it and she was trying to do things to reverse it. But again, before we get into the video of Silk talking at the home going on yesterday, we're going to get into the video of this dude basically being a conspiracy theorist within his own right, and we'll discuss that in a minute. So let's go ahead and get into that video real quick. Let's go.
Saturday, January 21st in Fayetteville, North Carolina. She loved that state, and so do I. As we celebrate the life of Diamond. She lived it in a incredible way, and we're going to have a wonderful celebration and ceremony. All of Diamond's families and Silk. We love Silk, her sister. She loved her sister so much, and they loved each other, and they really loved the world. They were with me from the beginning, and they never wavered. So we're going to celebrate. Silk will be there, but I'll be there, and we're going to celebrate the life of Diamond. See you in North Carolina. Thank you.
Donald Trump has announced that he will preside over the memorial service for Diamond of the political vlogging duo Diamond and Silk. Diamond, whose legal name was Annetha Lynette Hardaway, passed away on the 8th of January at the age of 51. And political and ideological differences aside, well, I'll get into what I hope comes from her funeral in a minute. It's being speculated that Diamond died of COVID. Right now, there's really no hard evidence of that being the case. Mike Lindell said that she wasn't even sick before she suddenly collapsed. Back in November of 2022, her sister, Silk, Harnetha Rochelle Hardaway, asked for others to pray for Diamond, who was sick at the time. Silk didn't say what the cause of the sickness was then, and she's not saying what it is now. It's really none of our business. However, in April of 2020, Twitter temporarily locked the viral duo's accounts after they were encouraging followers to go outside to help their immune system fight against COVID. This was a violation of the social media platform at the time because it was misinformation about the deadly disease. Before Twitter suspended Diamond and Silk, they were let go as hosts on Fox News due to misleading statements about COVID, according to Blavity. They accused Fox of being racist because of this decision, until they didn't. So you can understand why people are, at the very least, wondering what happened to Diamond. This is kind of how it goes in our COVID world, especially for celebrities, entertainers, and even athletes. I was watching basketball the other night and a player was out due to illness. ESPN made it a point to say that it was, quote, non-COVID related. So this isn't unique to Diamond, Silk, other COVID deniers, and anti-vax peoples. But it does jump up a notch for them, and Silk is still pushing back on any COVID speculation. So certainly, no one needs to troll Diamond, Silk, and their families for this. They kind of had it coming though when you consider that there may be some who took their advice and died due to COVID because they didn't want to, for instance, wear a mask and get vaccinated, which seems to be the case for Diamond, but again, that is speculation. But merely talking about these things isn't making Diamond's death political. After all, did Trump not make it political when he started out his truth about her with, quote, really bad news for Republicans? As I alluded to earlier, I'm hoping Trump doesn't make his eulogy about him. There's precedent of him doing so. I'm hoping this isn't a chance for him to grift. I'm hoping he matches the give, send, go in her name. If he hasn't donated already, probably hasn't. I'm hoping stolen elections doesn't come up. Although, if it does, will he bring up COVID? And how will that be received if he did it? May God rest her soul and give comfort to those who knew and loved her. For Rebel HQ, I'm Jeff Wiggins. My architect knows Japanese.
Now, I think this is hilarious that this dude, he basically making it about Trump. Again, we have to understand Diamond and Silk, they got their start because they were supporting Trump. I just want to kind of just, debunk some of the things he was saying in the video. According to Silk, at the memorial yesterday, she said that Donald Trump, President Trump at 45, whatever you want to call him, basically told them spare no expense. Whatever needs to be paid for, be paid for. I know people are talking about this, this Give, Send, Go page. Yeah, that's sometime, to help with the expenses after the fact, of the case, and so we can give George Floyd and family millions. And he, we know he was doing wrong at the time. Now, to say that this man deserved to die, I will never say that because he didn't. But I'm just saying, if we can give George Floyd family money, and he wasn't even doing anything, productive, to be honest. Also, when you think about what Trump said to the Republicans in that same statement, he said all Americans right afterwards. Reason why he mentions Republicans, because of the simple fact Diamond and Silk are Republicans. They're conservative. So, and they supported him. So yeah, he mentioned that because that's how people can identify her, just like he did. He disparaged her by saying, she was an anti-vax, she was a COVID denier. I don't think anybody denied COVID. I think what people denied is the fact of what they were saying on the news of how it was killing up all these people. Well, we know that it was most people that had healthy immune systems, they beat it, and that's a fact. But the sisters say there was never ever a time where they was in the hospital. You got to take their word for it. Again, because isn't that a conspiracy theorist? If they telling you that's not facts, and then you basically coming up with a theory that is not proven in facts, isn't that a conspiracy theory? I'm just saying. I just want you to think about that for a minute. This is a one guy right here. You can tell that he leans left. That he's a Democrat, that he's a hardcore Democrat, because how is it that you can speak about somebody passing, but at the same time talk negatively about them, basically saying she was a anti-vaxxer, which again, when you listen to Silk talk here in a few seconds, it kind of make you wonder if that is accurate. But without further ado, let's get into that real quick. Let's go.
She was preparing to go back to work the next day after being on a week, whatever, about going back on our chit chat tour and finally doing our book, Uprising, because we were unable to do the first book tour thanks to the pandemic. We talked about taking care of the elderly and the veterans. We were in the process of writing our next book, so we threw some ideas back and forth for titles and chapter names. Her energy and spirit was filled with life, excitement, and readiness, y'all. She was at her laptop getting her notes and getting the videos and stuff together for our chit chat show. I stepped out of the room for a moment to take care of something, when I returned, she was on the phone to my younger sister. But she started looking strange. Plus, I needed to show her something. So she told my sister she'll call her right back. As soon as Diamond hung up the phone, she said to me, I can't breathe. It was out of and no warning. I got her to the kitchen table, opened up the back door so that she can get some air. And each less and less and less until her eyes became a stare. My husband and I followed the 911 instructions from the lady. We laid her like they told us to lay her flat. They said do CPR, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. My husband and I alternated and kept going and going and going. Came into the the EMS came into the house. They everything. So what I want to say to everybody is, don't you dare call me a conspiracy theorist, because I saw it happen. I saw how it happened. I was there when it happened, and it happened suddenly. I want America to wake up and pay attention. Something ain't right. It's time to investigate what's really going on here. And why are people in that suddenly? I'm almost finished. As I transition to my next phase of life or in life, I need for all of you all to stand strong and support me like never before.
All right. So as you heard, hopefully you can hear it because I know in the playback I was hearing some breaks in there. If there were some breaks in there, let me know, and I'll just re-upload the link to that video. I was screen recording. This is my first time ever doing that, so it may be a little blotchy, but I was looking at my Wi-Fi and it was saying like it was kind of breaking up. So if you didn't hear it clearly, what she was basically saying was that her sister died suddenly. As we know, there is a video out there called "Died Suddenly," and we already know that it has a lot to do with this right here, according to sources and doctors and the research they have done. So again, she's alluding to, she's not a conspiracy theorist, that her sister died suddenly and said she could not breathe. And then, Donald Trump said in his post that her heart gave out. So that kind of, it makes you wonder, you know what I'm saying? And so here's a second little clip that I was looking at that she was discussing right here. So let's get into that one real quick and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. All right, let's go.
Are vaxxed or unvaxxed? To ask, is our Americans being when they want to depopulate and sterilize a large group of animals? They usually and that one animal infect the rest of the animals. So technically, and according to the science, it doesn't matter if you're vaxxed or not. As long as the gain of function allows one injected person to transfer and infect another person, and that person infect another, one will affect it in one way or the other. So, in case some of you are or still stuck in the now, people are dropping dead around here, and nobody's talking about it. And suddenly and unexpectedly, the catchphrase said SAD, sudden death syndrome. Many calls it a conspiracy theory. I call it murder.
So basically, you hear what she's saying. So she's alluding to, and again, if your guys have been, out here and haven't been hiding under a rock, like she said, there are a lot of people that are just dropping dead suddenly. They just dying out of nowhere. Healthy people. And what's ironic is that her sister Diamond was just at their brother's birthday party the day before. So if she allegedly had COVID, don't you think she would have been at home and the rest of them would have probably got affected as well? Her daddy is 76 years old. I'm quite sure he was at his son's birthday gathering. But if she was sick, do you think she would have been around her dad, knowing that she had COVID? I think all of us have had COVID at some point. COVID's been around since 2020. It's 2023. It's been around approximately 3 years now. So she went through all this time. But again, from understanding the way that Silk is talking, just in my opinion, now tell me if I'm wrong, that it sounds like maybe, Diamond may have taken the solution. I'm just saying, may have taken it. I may be wrong again, but just listening to her talk, it kind of made it sound to me that she had taken the jab, and there may have been some effects from that. I could be wrong, but let me know what you think. Like I said, again, like, comment, share, and also subscribe to the channel. Again, I just want y'all to let me know, am I reading too much into it? Let me know. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Y'all stay up and stay blessed. Peace.